What's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Today we have a special one, rock and roll photography. That's right, guys. I want to say hello to you guys. Welcome to Vahagraphy Talk, episode number 70. Let's bring in our co-host of the day, Mr. Robert Silver from Robert Silver Photography.
Hey everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I'm excited for today.
Yeah, man. Me too, man. Big time. Big time. Today's featured special guest. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. It's hard to get him, but I got him. Ah, man. Let's bring him in, man. Let's bring him in. Iron Mike Savoia, rock and roll photographer.
Going on, guys. or do I start off going, oh, yeah.
Never a bad time for Macho Man, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Macho man.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
No, it's it's a Tuesday and I'm not shooting anything today, so I'm editing and all that good stuff and taking some time out, to do this for you guys. And
Nice.
I was
Thank you.
talking about photography and concerts and all that stuff. So
thank you, man. Well, he's Robert. I'm Vahagan. We're happy to have you.
Absolutely.
Man, I have so many questions. And guys, I want to welcome everybody in the chat. Feel free to ask your questions as well. Rock and roll photography. Man, you've done a lot. I've seen your work. I admire your stuff, man. Not only your photography is great. Okay, that's given. But the opportunities you have, like the people the people that you shoot. I mean, that's just awesome,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's taken some years.
Really?
I'll be going this November will be my 40th year since my first concert photo.
Wow. 40 years? How old are you, man? You look good.
When am I going to be? I'm going to be 57 in September.
Stop.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rock and roll, man. It keeps you young.
I need some more in my life. That's crazy. You look great.
So you're the official tour photographer of the band Journey?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked, we have a little team with Journey, photographers. And I've been in and out, doing it 2014. And then this last year we did the 50th anniversary tour. Like February through February, April, March, 3 months. And that was a blast. That was a complete blast. Doing, we did the US, we had Canada, and just a lot of cool shows, and
that's awesome.
Great crew and everything else.
So when did that tour start?
February 2nd. I did the week before I was working Monsters of Rock. No, it wasn't. It was on the Blue Cruise. And we ended in, everything happens in Florida. We ended the tour. Next day, I jump on a plane, go to Pennsylvania, jump on the Journey tour, and then that went 3 months. Then we ended in Palm Springs, and the next day I flew back to Miami, and then I did the Monsters of Rock cruise. So,
wow,
3.5 months, man. It was crazy.
Was there Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, how's that work? Like, is it like when you're on tour, like do you get the same privileges as the crew in the band? Like, do you travel on your own, or do you travel with the band? How does that work for photography?
Yeah, no, like we tour buses, sometimes we fly, and but this whole tour I did all on tour bus this time, and it was a blast. Nice. I had a great group of people on my bus, so
that made it better. Was there any location or stop that really stuck out to you?
Well, the Canada stops were great, Toronto and Montreal and stuff like that. Those are always fun. But every city has its own vibe. So it's like if we have a day off before or after, I'm always walking miles, always walking everywhere. Yeah, just exploring. Because I'm, why sit in a hotel doing nothing? If I got my work done.
That's so. Let me see. So do you if you shoot for a band, let's say, right, like a big band like Journey? I mean, are you? Is it just? Are you exclusive to the photos, or are they your photos? You sign a contract saying, okay, you can't share the photo. Like, how does that work?
It depends on what who the band is and stuff, but with Journey, it's pretty much, I shoot, I edit, I send to the band, and whatever, they share, put out there, then I'll share it,
Oh, that's cool.
and I'll create my own little galleries here and there of stuff that they shared and stuff. But, there's just so many photos that, I just don't go out posting a whole bunch.
Yeah.
You have a dedicated like hard drive just for them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just my hard drive. And then I have, a gallery built for the band. They can go anytime there.
Oh,
whatever for every show. Yeah, exactly. So pretty much we have, every show, every arena you can go to. And,
so, okay, I'm gonna just set the stage because this is a dream job. Who said that? Fell said that sounds like a dream career job, much better than being in an office all day every day. I would think.
Oh, totally. I mean, I did the little corporate world. I worked in Microsoft for like 9 years or so, and oh yeah, it's way better.
James says 40 years is your ears okay?
Yeah, actually they are, because I've always been one of those guys that have always worn, back in the day, the foam plugs, and now I have in-ears built, for my ears and stuff like that. Yeah, I never ever shoot. I got the in-ears when Scott Rockenfield of Queensryche, when I would get behind him, I remember the first time getting behind him, and his snare drum was tuned so tight.
Wow.
When he hit that thing, that's why you see a lot of photos with him with like kind of like the airplane earmuffs things, because he has to protect himself too. I mean, it hurt. It actually hurt my head. So after that first time, I was like, I got to go get some real ones. No more foam.
So this job, like I said, like Phil says, I mean, I'm sure there's ups and downs. From an outsider looking in, it is a dream job.
Yeah.
Do you get burned out sometimes? Do you know what I mean? Like, like when I'm a wedding photographer, I get burned out a lot. Sometimes I wish I was home or doing some other things. Do you experience that on the road, or?
No, like this tour, I didn't really experience it too much. Burnout or whatever. But when I did get home, it was kind of like, everything changes because you're on the road. You have the specific, you get up at this time, you travel, all this stuff, and all of a sudden you get back home, and it's like, it's just a whole different vibe, and you just get, it takes you a couple days to, to get back into it. But
turn off, huh?
Yeah. But burnout, I've gotten to a point now where I know my limits, and if I do feel like I'm starting to get burned out, I won't accept shows to shoot shows. Yeah, and you have to do that, because if you're constantly going, it isn't like, most people don't realize that not only when you're going to a show, you're shooting the show, it's like all that time it takes to get there to do the show. Well, you go back home, guess what? You got all the editing. So it's like, wedding photography. I mean, geez, you go and spend 8 hours shooting, and then next thing you know, you're days into it.
Yeah.
Editing.
Doesn't stop. Yeah, for another week.
And that definitely, how weddings are. I mean, that burns you out. That burns you out.
There's so many rings I can look at. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
What is I have a question about your photography, because I'm a lifestyle, fashion, and portrait photographer. So looking at your work, I appreciated a lot about it from my perspective.
Thank you.
So here's one question that I wanted to ask. When you're working with these high profile clients, right? What is the general expectations they have on you as a photographer?
Well, I mean, pretty much I always try, let me do my thing. That's kind of the vibe, let me do my thing. I will get everything you want, angle wise, everything. As long as you have, all access. If you don't have all access, then you can get stuff, but if you give somebody, a photographer, full access, they're gonna get the stuff.
Is that 3-song rule pretty much done with? Or you remember back in the day where they come in for 3 songs?
Yeah,
and
no,
then-
it still happens. It still
Okay.
happens. If it's like if I don't know the band or whatever and I go shoot a show, it's 3 songs and out. So like last night, we shot Seal and 3 songs and out. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the opportunity,
Yeah, the opportunity, exactly.
Yeah.
So
and there is some acts you don't want to shoot more than 3 songs. So we won't go there. There we go.
So you but to be on the road with an official band, I think you're pretty much all access anytime, anywhere, right?
Exactly.
There's no limit or anything like
Nope.
that. Nice.
Unless they stipulate something like
Now,
you can go here or there.
in terms of professionalism, do they like expect you to be partying hard with them and all this other stuff, or
No, I mean you're around. I mean you're around everybody the whole day. And sometimes like for Journey, the band gets in later in the afternoon, so morning till afternoon, the whole crew's there just setting up, doing things, and then the band comes in, and access is, you have access to everybody.
Okay.
James, like you said, do you get directions from the band and producer, or are you just set free to get out there and take pictures?
Like I'll go back to the thing is, it's you go out there and do your thing.
Yeah.
You go out there and do your thing. There is, specific shows, obviously, where someone in the band's like, hey, this blah, 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 can you get this shot tonight or this angle and stuff? And, or, as a photographer, like this is going to be awesome or something. And then you talk to a member of the band and let them know, this song, I'm going to be corner stage or something. And
hey, if I was the official photographer of Metallica, let's say. By the way, do you see that guy Lee? Do you know that guy Lee? He posted some. He's all into Metallica. Like he did some Leica portraits on Instagram of the band members, black and whites. I forget his name. But if I was, one of the photographers for, let's say, Metallica, I would say, hey, by the way, Lars, if your arm goes out, I can jump in. 2-for-1 special here for photography and drummer.
Yeah. I dabble in guitar, but there's a hell no way I'm telling Neil Sean, if your fingers off tonight, I'll step in. You can shoot.
I was just kidding. Yeah, I was just kidding. Hey, that's look at this room, you guys. Is this your home office?
Oh no, this is my living room.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is we got it's just the living room. My kind of desk office is here, but I threw some stuff and there's a combination of stuff. I got all my albums, we have vinyl and everything else. And
so 40 years of doing this, you have a lot of probably good memories and things that you've shot. Do you own, I mean, well, if you work for a band, how does the licensing work? Do you own the images? Is there
pretty much. Yeah, you own images depending on what the band is and if you signed any agreements or whatever.
Okay.
And like some of the stuff we do for radio, like some of the bands, we have these agreements, and pretty much these agreements nowadays are getting to a point where basically they don't want you selling photos, making money off of them, So so like some of these photographers that like work for outlets like Getty and stuff like that, they don't even allow them to shoot at all.
Yeah.
Have they
That's
ever
right.
used your photo and licensed, thus paying you for like a tour poster or a cover or something like that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's
Yep.
additional revenue on top of what they
Yeah.
paid you to hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
Um, for those of you guys don't know, Mike Savoia is from the Seattle area, right, Mike?
Yep.
Seattle, and you and your wife are in the
Yeah.
same line of work. She's a photographer as well, fellow Nikon shooters, guys.
Yeah.
Your camera of choice, Mike, is
Z9.
okay.
Oh,
The big Z9. This mother. For my big hands.
Yeah.
Fits like a
So
glove.
that's cool. I want to ask you because I was shooting a show and I had issues with flicker and banding
Oh,
on the
yep.
Z9. What do you do to reduce that or eliminate that altogether? Do you experience that on
Yeah, I
shows?
experienced it actually kind of a little bit last night. Actually, the last couple shows I've shot, different venues, I've experienced it. And yeah, like last night when I was shooting Seal, all of a sudden I got that little bit of flickering. And so basically, I was putting the see, I'm usually for shows, I'm usually at about 320, f 2.8. But when I get that flickering, I bring that 250 down to like 60 or so, and then bump my f-stop up a little bit and see if that it helps it, because I'm not the expert on flickering, but it has to do with electricity. So I think in the US, what is it, 60 megahertz, whatever it is. So you have to kind of match, something to do with, you have to match that.
the pulsing of the lights.
Yeah. And then
How
when
it
you do,
recycles.
exactly, when it cycles. And, most of the time I find it, if I, lower it, it kind of goes away. But there's no getting away from it, especially with mirrorless.
Yeah. By the way, I was trying a few things with the dial in the frame rate and exposure and how you can dial it in now.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, big day for Nikon.
Yeah.
We got a firmware. The Z9 just got even better. 4.0, baby.
It was a
Yeah. Chuck's in the house.
major
Hello.
update.
Yeah, I
Getting
can't
ready-
believe they jumped that high. They jumped to 4.0 on that.
Well, when you go to, remember when we went to the NikonUSA.com, it was like a library list of not only updates but fixes and new stuff. I'm like, yeah, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Did you get it?
As soon as I saw they updated the 3D tracking, better focusing. That's all I had to read. I didn't care about anything else because I use the 3D tracking a lot.
I didn't get a chance to read the new updates that much in detail, but from what I saw, it's a major firmware update. So, like I said, the Z9 just got even better. Like, what is it? Subject. Thing that stood out to me was like subject recognition, where it just starts
auto capture, it's called.
Yeah, the auto capture
in photos and video.
Yeah.
So Nikon's shooting a shot across the bow, like that Z9. They're really going hard in the video, like really tough. And of course, it's going to take great photos, but these features is letting people know, like this. I think they're separating within the internals of the Z9 versus Z8, like what its strength, right? They don't want to be too close. And Z9, I think it's going to be a little bit more like to Matt Granger. If you watch this video, he made a good point. It's like it's going to be definitely more video, and the Z8 is going to be. Watch for the Z8's next firmware update. You're going to see more photography stuff. I think in it.
People are already saying, like, hey, I wish the Z8 had this now. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
yeah, they could keep wishing.
Hold on. I'm tired of hearing what everybody wants. It wants it to fly too, and
Well, I mean, I think if it has to do with the body and the way it's constructed with these new features, where if it's going to overheat and whatnot, maybe we're out of luck with the Z8. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll get into your gear later on. I want to get into your lenses and stuff like that. But I got some questions for as far as like the shooting. Fel asks, do you have it to sign something so you don't disclose personal stuff about them?
Oh, no.
I think they're older, man. I don't think they party like,
Yeah, there's no
groupies and stuff.
there's backstage isn't like 1970s or 80s anymore.
Like Van Halen with David Lee Roth, and he picks out the girls and come back there.
Yeah.
But
you
Or
see
under the stage.
but Journey's not the only act you shoot all kinds of acts.
Oh yeah.
And younger guys, crazier guys,
Oh yeah. I mean, there's some younger bands out there today I completely dig. I mean, like Dirty Honey. I would love, work more with those guys. There's a lot of great bands out there. Just the industry itself is not built to succeed in these day and times.
Yeah.
I love the names. My daughter was going through her rock and roll phase when she was a little younger, and she still likes rock and stuff, but she was really going through it. And I'd tease her. I'm like, Jasmine, we're gonna think of the two things we see in the next minute, and that's the band name, right? Like rocking chair. What? And it was just so interesting. Like you said, Dirty Honey. Now that sounds like a cool name, but you're like, where in the hell would that name come from? And I know there's a backstory. With that release form question, is it also because you're a veteran and they just know you already know how the game works, and like there's no need for like all that technical stuff too? Does that make sense?
I mean, most of the times, I'm pretty much friends with whoever I'm working with and stuff, and there's a trust factor there, because in this industry you don't want to do anything that's gonna affect you, because then the music industry is this tiny world. Everybody thinks it's this big old thing. No, it's a tiny world. A lot of people know each other, and we're all intertwined, and then you add the internet and
Hey, so I befriended Marco's Photos. He's a local LA club photographer. He does a lot of stuff on Instagram. And we were talking, and I told him a story where I went to the Whiskey A Go-Go and I got into a fight with the owner because she wouldn't let me in. There was the Wild Child was playing, the Doors cover band.
Yeah.
So I wanted to check them out. And I had my Z9 with my knock,
Yeah.
I want to take some pictures. She goes, oh, you can't go in with that, you can't go in with that. So I said, okay, well, leave it in the car and then you can go in. I'm not leaving this car in the car. That's 20 grand, this and that. So she's like, okay, well, talk to the promoter, the manager, the band manager. If she says yes, you can take it in.
Yeah.
I talked to her. I'm like, listen, I have a YouTube channel. I'm doing a video, and it's great exposure for you guys too. She okayed it. I went back to the owner of the Whiskey. Nope, I decided not to let you in. Mother effer. I got so pissed off.
Wow.
I got so upset that I pointed at the promoter. I go, look, she let me. The manager of the band. I don't care. I'm not letting you. So it turns out she was the owner's daughter, and she runs the show over there. So I told Marcos, I told the Marcos a story. He goes, man, I think you burned a bridge. You don't want to do that. This is a small community. I think they're going to blackball you now. I'm like, dude, chill out, bro. I'm like, this is not going to happen, But you're right. You're reminding me of that when you said it's a small community,
Yeah, definitely a small community for sure.
So I just thought I'd share that, because he told me, like, when the first time I met him, he's like, man, you're too pushy, man. Slow down, because you just asked Don, the guy that shot Nikki Sixx, if you could call me to go shoot Nikki Sixx. He goes, you don't do that,
Yeah.
You show him your work. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Man, I'm a musician first, a wedding photographer second. I mean, vice versa. So, but Ray Powell has a good question here. Have you ever photographed an unknown band and been knocked out of their performance?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I would like to tell other concert photographers. A lot of people, let's say, they're going to go shoot a bigger name band. Get there early. I don't care who it is. Go and shoot the opening acts. Because you shoot the opening acts, they might be the next big thing. And you know, I've seen so many photographers that just don't get there until, you know,
The
the
big one.
headliner's playing, and then it's like, man, you missed it, man. This band was incredible, you know, playing and stuff. And you know, back in the day, you know, let's say 20 years ago, you know, that was awesome because we were shooting film and there wasn't that many photographers, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's every kid on the block has a camera and an iPhone and this and that. So picture wise, nowadays, I don't see how anything could become classic nowadays. The future.
That iconic shot, huh?
Yeah, that iconic shot, because, you know, back in the day, there wasn't that many photographers, you know.
Good
And
point.
now everybody's shooting. Everybody's got this. Everybody's got that. So when you do get a shot, you know, it's even if it's a classic shot, you know, it's cool now and gone tomorrow.
So the
Unless, unless the band, you know, uses it or promotes it, you know, the shot.
Nice. Here's a business question from Stuart. How do you get paid? And at the end of the tour, and do they approach you to tour with the bands? Like, how does that work? Agent or?
Well, if you're on tour, you usually get paid per week. Usually, and nowadays is direct deposit, so that makes it a heck of a lot easier. So, you know,
I like that.
Yeah. And bands do, you know, bands do come up to you and want, you know, either, you know, tour or shoot certain shows. You know, and with the whole internet thing nowadays, you know, when I'm talking, I'm, you know, because I have so many years, it's kind of like this wall. It's kind of like before, you know, film, digital. Back in the day, you know, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's such a different world nowadays going with the digital. But the better thing about that is your work is out there. It's seen worldwide.
The next day, right?
The next hour.
Yeah.
That is the one great thing about digital and online stuff. Your work does get out there, and people see it. You know, they see your work, and the next thing you know, you'll get jobs if you have the, you know, the vibe they're looking for. And that's exactly kind of what happened to me Friday night. When I came off the Journey tour, I put together this little photo album of just these huge shots and stuff. And the band management at Brit Floyd, they're the world's biggest Pink Floyd cover band, amazing. And they hired me, brought me out to my last bucket venue I've never shot at, Red Rocks, on Friday. And you know, they had a near 3-hour set there.
Wow.
And, I was dead to the world after that. I did 4.2 miles and 61 flights of stairs.
Wow.
During the set. So, yeah.
But your adrenaline is pumping, man. Like I said, when I shoot shows, like I'm like, I feel the music, especially when I know the music and I'm drumming, air drumming, shooting, you know, it's like I'm in it. I'm into it, you know?
Yeah.
The next best thing I want to do is play the drums, but like the next best thing is shoot the band, you know, like
yeah.
If I can't jam with the band, I shoot with the band. So
well, if you ever go to Red Rocks, I don't care how much adrenaline you have, you better be ready, because that's brutal.
Where's that at? Vegas?
No, Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's the one artist that you were like, oh, like, will you ever get starstruck after 40 years? Like,
no, you know, I'll say yes, but you'll never notice it. You'll never notice it, because that's what they like. You know,
professional,
the professional face. You know, you have to do that, because if you come out all like, they're gonna be like, eh.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
but yeah, deep inside though, oh hell yeah, man. I mean, you know, like, you know, I'm the little kid. You know, I still have that little kid in me, where it's even even still, even like working with Journey, it's like every night, it's like, what kind of freaking dream is this? It's,
You're
so
literally doing something you would do for free. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And getting paid for it. And guess what? There's no shirt and tie involved. So solid.
exactly.
You shot a lot of acts that I love. Like you shot Dream Theater,
Mhm.
Portnoy. Mike Portnoy is one of my favorite drummers ever. Those John Petrucci and all them. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, Dream Theater, man. That was gosh.
You ever shot Rush?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Neil Peart.
Yeah, let's see here. I'll tell you a quick story.
Uh-huh.
Before, what happened is for years I was working with the band Sugar Ray, and they were on Atlantic Records. So when Sugar Ray kind of went away for a while, 2007, I had somebody at Atlantic Records send me a message saying, "Hey, Rush is playing White River Amphitheater. You want to go shoot him?" And I'm like, yeah. So
Hello.
that show, I went out and bought my first digital DSLR. I bought the Nikon D80.
Uh-huh.
And so I went to this show. I shot, and it was so crazy that I could shoot a picture, look at it, change my settings on the fly. And I mean, this is coming from a film guy. And then you're like, what? I could shoot 1,000,000 shots. It doesn't matter because I don't have to go get that developed. The film developed and sent away and all that stuff. And yeah, so I shot Rush. I love the photos, and I'm like, what am I going to do with these things? What am I going to do with them? I was like, and I felt like these needed to be seen. And so I went to the local, rock station here, and I was like, hey, do you guys want some Rush shots, to post on the website? And they agreed to it. And next thing you know is I just started shooting shows for the radio station, and boom, it just opened up a whole different big world.
So that's an awesome story, man. It's a network, man. Record company calling you, agents. Do you have a certain type of manager or agent you work with that gives you jobs, or no? Pretty much they know you,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm always prodding out there, trying to find stuff. But no, it's
Did the radio pay for licensing to use it for their promotions and whatever?
Yeah, there's some like if they hold their own event, their own, where they
iHeart Radio thing or whatever.
Exactly. Then there's contract stuff, but otherwise there's not much of anything.
So it's kind of like what I do then, and correct me, in your genre, you do paid, but then for good opportunities, I'll show up and do that. You know what I mean? And so you do a mixture of both.
Mixture of both, man. You have to.
I just want people to hear that.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's like everybody thinks every gig's paid. No, but the connection you get with the band, with their management, with their PR, just the whole circle. And it will come around. It will come around.
Totally. No, I wanted to hear people that like the real life is you're doing both with the end result in mind, right?
Exactly.
The big picture, the 40-year career.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Do you ever shoot black and white stuff?
Oh yeah. I love black and white. If you notice a lot of my Journey stuff, I'll switch it to black and white. It's just more. Yeah, I mean, you know how black and white is. It's just, you could take a color photo and it looks amazing, but then you put it to black and white and you're like, why is it giving me that feel? Like it's just epic. It's more. I don't know. It's weird.
Chuck from AP Studios
raw,
says, after all these years, what's your favorite shot or show that you shot? Do you have a favorite?
Favorite show has to go to the original For a Kiss.
The Kiss, the original members?
Reunion tour, like 96.
Dang. That's cool.
I've always that's what got me into everything was Kiss, you know,
Wow.
and for that opportunity to be, you know, to shoot, you know, Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter.
How was the energy? Like,
Oh,
not when
insane.
they're playing, I'm just saying, like, just in general, how was that?
Oh, it's off the charts, you know, especially that reunion tour. It was just like everybody was just like wanted Kiss. And
Damn.
yeah, so that was a complete blast. That, you know, that has to be my favorite. Just to be, you know, this close to the guys that really
To legends.
yeah, the legends and stuff.
Gene is a businessman, man. He
Oh
inspired. Yeah, he's
yeah,
big time. Yeah.
yeah.
Stuart says Van Hogan. Hey, Van Halen. Thanks for
Van
the live stream. When do you get time to edit and upload your photos on the road?
Well, on this tour, it was easy with when you're on the bus. So let's say you shoot a show, you get done 10:30. I'll go load the files onto my hard drive after the show. Usually, you know, then we head to the bus and we travel the next city. Then that next morning I would get up and start editing because I don't really have anything to do until the afternoon. So I have, you know, a good amount of time of editing to do, and you know, and I'll do a good, you know, 60 to 90 shots of the show. Put a little gallery.
I would drop everything I'm doing to kind of go on the road with one of my favorite bands. I would drop everything. I mean, I would just it's an experience, you know, on the
Yeah.
road and all that. So yeah, I mean, having a dream job like that, you know. James says, I bet you have a lot of wild band stories.
None that I want to tell. But,
Okay,
no. Back in the day, yeah, you know, the 80s, 90s, yeah. There's
That
some
must be the big hair days and stuff.
there's some crazy stuff, but nowadays not too much anymore.
Yeah, I don't think this question from James, I don't think it's public, man. Not anyone can take photos. I mean, it's not public.
Yeah, no. Well, let's say this: it is public in the sense where you got your cell phone, you're shooting, I mean, look how many people are filming and everything, but you just can't bring a detachable
Interchangeable
DSLR
lens.
Yeah, you can't bring that in.
I remember when I went to this has nothing to do with rock and roll, but I went to Ringling Brothers like the last time I went with my little daughter, and you couldn't bring a lens that's longer than 3 inches.
Yeah, I think
So
that's like at the baseball game too. I think
that
last Mariners game we went to, I think it can't be
like a
maybe
circle.
ours is 6 inches, but
Hey-o.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, but yeah, I'm totally not surprised, and they're trying to protect their brand and the opportunities, etc.
yeah,
And if I was a lead photographer, I'd be like, who's this prick over here trying to bully his way? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
but
Do
yeah.
you run into a lot of pricks, photographers?
Do I?
Like the press and, you know.
Not really.
Okay. They're pretty much
Yeah.
cool and they don't bash each
Everybody's
other
pretty much
down.
cool. I mean, there is some people, you know, that don't like you or whatever, and it's like whatever. You just
You
do
bump
your
into
thing.
you bump into some young cats, you know, that are trying to learn the game, and you're like, hold on, young man, let me
Yeah.
make sure you're
Oh
doing this.
yeah. I mean, you know, if we're in the pit and there's certain things they're doing, I will definitely tell them, you know, hey,
Like some of the name me a couple of things that they do that really annoy you that they shouldn't be doing.
Bahaga's like, let me know.
first thing is having a freaking backpack on, like a big backpack on their back, running into the pit, and then, you know, turning around and hitting everybody and how that's one. The other one is the walking to the very front of the stage and then putting their camera straight up in the air, you know, the Hail Mary with all of us behind, you know. So there's times that will happen, and I will grab them by the shoulder and I say, hey, look, if you're gonna do that, you do that at the back of the pit. or behind the photographers, because I don't care who it is, everybody does it. You have to at times, because sometimes these stages are taller, so you see a shot, you're gonna go up with it, but always be aware of your surroundings in the pit. So that's one thing. Another one is, for some reason, they walk in the pit with their flash on the top, not on, but just the flash is on the top. And it's like, why you even have that? You know, I don't need to be shooting over a tower.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's almost as annoying as when they're holding it up. They're doing the same kind of obstructive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, we could keep going on and on. There's just all little things. But if I see any of that stuff, I mean, and I know they're young and newer, man, I'll talk to them, say, hey dude, this, you shouldn't do this, and I'll sit there and explain stuff to them.
Right on.
I'm totally into that. Totally into
passing the baton.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait a minute. I have to say this, because a guy like Jared Polin, with the big ass bro in the pit, he's obstructing everybody's view.
The fro. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hair's hair. You ain't gonna say anything about that. It's just,
right. He did that poison thing.
That is funny though. I've never that'd be interesting to shoot in the pit with Jared.
Yeah, he was at the Poison show with the Ricky Rocket invited him to shoot that show when the Motley Crue and all them went.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, obviously, if you're in the pit with him, the hair is definitely there. But it's like when I shoot with my bro Randy Johnson, shows,
the baseball player.
Yeah, he's like 6'11", so for him, he knows he's tall, so he'll sit, he either sit back on the barrier or something, or maybe get on his knees or something, but he's always aware of it. He knows.
Do you know him like on a personal level?
Yeah, we're friends,
brother. You gotta get him on the show for me, man. Randy Johnson, man.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. Oh man,
Hall of Famer.
He's got so many rad photos back in the days, like 70s, when he was in college, because he was shooting for the college paper. He's got some of the bands he shot. It's just unreal.
Robert, you heard of Randy Johnson, right? Yankees pitcher.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just.
He's always been into photography, but now he shoots rock music, rock bands, and was it the Yankees or the another team that he retired from?
For the Mariners. He played for the Mariners, then he got traded, and he was the Yankees, and then he went to Arizona, and then won a championship there.
And they gave him a Neil Peart drum set when he retired, because he loved the drums, That's awesome, man. Wow, you got to talk to him for me, man. Just say hey, and if you want to come on too, Mike, with that day.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to have him on, man.
Cool.
That guy is awesome, dude.
Yeah. Cool,
6'4".
No, 6'11".
Oh, 6'11".
Oh yeah, he's real tall.
So what about do you know a guy named Ross Helfand?
Oh yeah, Ross. Who doesn't?
Okay,
if you're in the rock world, you better know him.
Yeah, he's a legend in
I mean, he's been around forever. Before I even got really into shooting, he was doing everything.
Yeah.
Is there a busy season, quote unquote, for concert photography?
Now after COVID, it's all year long.
Oh, they got a tour. Because that's where the money's at. Huh?
Yeah, even I mean, even before COVID, I mean, that's where the money's at now. The industry is just,
the streams killed it.
Yeah, streams killed it, and the only way that they're not making money off of product.
Totally, like the actual song itself per se.
Yeah, they need to be out there touring, and it's all about merch.
Yeah,
tickets and merch. So everybody's touring. Like after COVID, everybody at once was going out on tour, and guess what? There was no tour buses. There wasn't enough tour buses out there. So it was affecting everything. And then everybody's booking, venues all at the same time. And it was kind of crazy there for a while.
Oh.
My dream gig would be to kind of get close up and be friends with like somebody that I really like a musician, and just like follow them around in the daily life, like just hanging around the studio, not necessarily shooting their gig. That's cool too, but just doing like just a lifestyle shoot with that musician, something that people don't actually get to see. Personal life. Have you ever gotten a chance, an opportunity, one of an like an artist to have that opportunity for you? Like, have you ever shot that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, like you're talking about like hanging out for a day with
Like
musicians.
they say, hey Mike, I love the band photo. Like I love the concert photos you shot with me. Can you do like a portrait session with me and my family? Or have you ever gotten that? Or something?
I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff like that, but nothing, off the top of my head, I can say a name that's I've done that. But
so they've hired, and not hired, but at least invited you, or even hired to do something not specifically when the concert's going. Like, hey, we like you. Come to blah 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 blah. Or hey, can you do this for us? Like it's led to other opportunities outside of concert photography.
Oh yeah, I mean like family shoot or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And that's always fun.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I would love to. I'm not into rock and roll, but I would love to be on tour with the Roots, like the original Roots band.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
that would be killer.
yeah.
You're not into rock and roll. What's wrong with you, brother?
We'll fix them.
I like rock and roll, but I just grew up as a '90s hip hop kid. So
I'm kidding.
but the Questlove, to see all those guys, oh my god, I'd literally I'll go nuts.
But can you imagine the opportunities given to you once you're in the circle? Like your portfolio will go crazy if you can bring, like, let's say you shoot, like you shot Seal, right?
Yeah,
you bring Seal in for a portrait studio shoot.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Oh my god!
Right? It's like somebody like other people that are in the music industry. All you need is that one portrait session that'll take your career to the next level.
Yeah,
I once did a Guavale came to the Bay Area. If you've ever been to Yoshi's in Oakland, it's acoustically really beautiful. If you ever get a chance to when you're down here, and she was performing, live, beautiful. I was taking photos, and boy, was I tagging the hell out of her. I was like, I'll shoot your cover for free. Like I just want to, I think she's a great performer, and it would have been well worth it. But I was thinking like Vahagan said, it's like just for the, the clout, and try to shoot your shot. I got shot down, so there you go.
You got to start somewhere, just like
exactly.
Annie Leibovitz, she has everybody under the sun on her portfolio, like,
Man.
Yeah.
But hey, good question here. Are you able to handhold the camera with no strap, or do you bolt it onto you somehow on the show?
I'm going to show you exactly what I use. That. The hand strap. That's all I use. So you can see that there. What the heck? That's it.
That's it. Wow. What about your lenses? What do you shoot with?
Well, let me finish answering this one. So, pretty much I use that. I don't like using the bolt on, strap stuff. Kind of two reasons. One, I don't care how tight I do it. I just don't trust it. It's not, my camera's not going to fall off, and I've seen it happen. The second,
are you talking about the rock?
Yeah, like the strap,
Black Rapid.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm not a kind of guy that likes their cameras hanging at the sides, swinging around, banging other people's cameras, or when you're in the pit
or instruments.
I like to take care of my equipment. So basically what I end up doing is I kind of wear a bag in the front here. And so basically I kind of do everything in front of me.
Wow.
That's pretty smart, actually, because you get to your next lens, 24
exactly. It's all right here, and I'm only out, so much, and yeah, and so
What
then
do you
everything's right.
what do you take with you? Like, is everything on you at all times?
Yeah.
Okay, so one camera.
Two
You have a
cameras.
bag, two cameras.
Yeah.
So one's in the bag.
Yeah, one's in the bag, one's in my hand, and everything's here. Just switch. I use that 10. What is this bag here? I'll show you the bag. Let's see here. The Tenba, the DNA 16 Pro Messenger. This one here. This thing can fit Z9 body in the middle, Z8 in the other compartments. And then I have 70 to 200 slot. I mean, it's amazing. Pretty much my bag is like a Tetris.
so two bodies. Lens is 70-200.
Yeah, it's 70 to 200. I got the 24 to 70. Then depending on what the show is, whatever, either have the 14 to the 14 to 30, the wide one.
14 to 24.
Yeah. My fisheye. Never leave home.
You mean the 16D?
Yes, that thing is my American Express. Never leave home without it. It's gotten me all my epic shots. So
yeah,
16 millimeter, and then I have the 20 1.8.
Ooh, Z-Wade. You know Z-Wade photo?
Mm.
My buddy Z-Wade. Well, he loves that lens.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. Especially when you're in a club shooting and the light is really crappy. I just pull that thing out and just shoot.
Are you that 16D? I had it. I sold it. I kind of regret it. For those wondering, you can't autofocus with Z9. It's okay because it's fisheye. And how hard is it to autofocus a fisheye at 16 millimeter?
Right? Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people don't want to manually focus, but if you don't know, with the Z8 or Z9 or even Z6, you have this thing called peak highlighting.
Yeah.
And basically what it is you're looking through your viewfinder and you're focusing and you set the color. There's like 4 different colors: white, blue, red, yellow. So whatever color you want, you set it to. And then when you're in focus, whatever's in focus is going to show you that. It's going to show you in color. So, so if you're afraid to use a manual lens, try something. Don't, try it. Because with that feature in these cameras, it's easy.
Yeah.
Super.
I love it. Especially with my eyes, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
And for video, if you're shooting video, a lot of people, you can go pull in focus.
Hey, by the way, Mike has a YouTube channel, guys. Rock and Roll YouTube channel where he has clips of bands and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like with all my access and stuff, a lot of times I've done over the years, I just do videos on my phone and stuff. And
is that what
you kind of pro looking, I have the vibe, like in doing it, but heck, I just post all kinds of stuff, but heck, people love it. I mean, I'm just about at 7 million views just on these little phone.
That's from the phone.
Just the phone videos.
Holy
cow.
Yeah.
The link is in the description, guys. After the live stream, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. So do you do any video with your Z system sometimes? Switch it to video mode.
Oh, during shows, yeah. It was funny though when I first got the camera. You're gonna love this. I first got the camera. I said, I'm gonna try this video out, right? Flip it on video, and next thing you know, is like, I'm not kidding you, 3 seconds, and it said my card was full.
Damn.
And I was like, what? I was like, what the hell just happened? Well, it was set on 8K, 60, blah blah blah, and my card was not, it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
And then once I did that, I thought to myself, how do these video guys do it, man? They must be spending like $1,000 on a memory card.
A lot of them record directly to SSD. When you're doing big commercial projects or something. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, those files are ginormous.
Do you shoot raw JPEG on your shows?
Card 1 raw, card 2 JPEG backup.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what raw do you shoot? Like which raw? Like the full quality?
It's depending on what the gig is or whatever. I'll keep it at the star one, the not the very top. The what the heck? I don't even
The
remember.
medium one, the 25 megapixel one.
Oh no! I keep it at the highest.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just the what is the
High
raw?
efficiency.
Yeah, raw. Okay, the high efficiency. That's what I use on the Nikons. The lossless compression one. I've done a lot of testing, with that, and I can't tell the difference. So it's like, why use it unless you're doing like a certain shoot,
Commercial or something.
commercial shoot or something like that, then you would definitely use it. In file size, it's about 10 megapixels bigger per file. So there's definitely has to be something there. Obviously, more info, but just my tests looking at it, you can't tell.
Not on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing too. That's a great point there. Everybody's into this. Oh, I gotta have this many megapixels and this and that and blah blah blah. And it's like, I said, why? It's like 72 is what you see on the internet. For these cameras now, if you're doing prints, yeah, then it's great.
And you don't need more than five megabytes for it to look great on your website. Like,
yeah,
your screens aren't that big, folks. Calm down.
exactly.
Jonathan asked, what piece of equipment helps you expedite your editing workflow on the road? Do you use any kind of piece of equipment or software or laptop?
No, just my laptop. I ended up I've been a Windows guy forever, and this tour I switched to the Mac Pro M2 chip laptop, and it just blew my mind. I couldn't even, editing is 10 times faster on that.
Nice.
And so I finally Mac'd in, even though my wife, she has everything Mac, her work stuff, she's been Mac forever. So
wait, the balance of you and your wife, do you guys shoot pretty much in the same line of work, but does she kind of like specialize in one type of photography, like a different type of photography than you do, or is it pretty much the same?
She can do anything. She's got a great eye.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Awesome. Does she have an Instagram?
Yes. Yep.
What is it?
Oh, it's just a personal one. She has
okay.
But like on Facebook, she has her own.
Oh, okay.
Concert and everything.
But you have two Instagram accounts. You have your, I guess,
I have my personal one and then the concert one, and then on Facebook I have the non-music photography and then music photography.
What how I didn't know the links to the Facebook one. What are the Facebook
It's just Savoia photography is the non-music, all my travel photography stuff, and then Savoia Photography Live is my concert.
Okay, I'll put the links in the description.
Yeah.
After we're done.
Yeah, and those yep.
That's awesome, man. Like it's fascinating life, man. You shoot something you love, music, and it's photography, so it's like the best of both worlds, man.
Yeah.
Were you and the wife shooting separately as photographers prior to meeting? And has it, because you, and second question is, since you both have a passion clearly in photography, has that made like the bond even that cooler, not just tighter, but like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it has. It's always fun, especially when we work a festival or something together.
Oh, that's cool.
It's always cool to have someone else there, knowing what they're, with her eye catching different stuff. I mean, we could be shooting the same show and she just has a different view, different eye.
And you guys,
different height too, because I'm 6'1" and she's 5'7" or something. I think that's where the difference is.
How does she love does she love her Z8?
Yeah, she's getting used to it.
Okay, what did she shoot before? Your Z9?
On she has Z6 too.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah, but and she tried the Z9, but just way too big for her tiny hands.
Oh, okay, I see.
And heavy too.
Do you switch lenses or do you have 2 cameras set up ready to go?
I have 2 cameras. Yeah, I have 2 cameras set up with my main 2 lenses, and depending on the show, and then I'll switch lenses.
Do you take lighting? Any lighting with you? Flash or anything like?
I always have a flash.
A flash. Okay. What about like an LED or something?
Yeah, I look down on the floor. You mean like that?
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna do much. I know.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do much, but you won't believe how bright this sucker is.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah,
but it's mostly all the stage lighting, right? Because it's so beautiful. I mean, you could just, right?
Yeah. Well, there are shows that aren't the best lighting. So
like the clubs and stuff.
Obviously. Yeah, the clubs and even bigger shows. I mean, go shoot a Tool show. You'll see. That's an obstacle in itself.
Why they use a lot of strobes and stuff? Like,
well, they keep it dark. They keep it dark. And this last tour was crazy. They had all this fringe stuff hanging in front of the stage, so you had to shoot.
What?
So that's what was amazing about the Z9 is putting it on pinpoint focus. So then you go right between the fringe, and then you could focus. Behind the guys behind. So
damn, that's hard, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And they're moving.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been a couple shows over the years that is interesting things. I mean, even like King Diamond, he played more theater here a couple years back, and he had a like cemetery gates.
Oh, like, wow!
Front of the stage. So the spacing was only that much between each of the bars. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. So every once in a while, when something like that happens, it's kind of cool.
So
do you?
Go ahead, Robert. Sorry.
I was gonna say, when you see stuff like that, you show up, be like, all right, it looks cool, but god dang.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like, all right, cool, but
so as a pro, you don't really, jump into the arguments of megapixels, camera brand wars, and all. You just go out and shoot, right?
No, I never get into the brand thing because it's a tool. It's a tool in your hand, and you just need to learn how to use it. And every company, I mean, all the companies, they're all amazing in their own ways.
Why Nikon for you? Because is that what you started with? And
it's what I started with, and I stuck with it. You know how it is. Like if you switch brands now, you'd be spending tens of thousands of dollars just replacing lenses. It's a nightmare.
And you lose on the value.
Yeah. And I've shot with the other stuff, and I just think Nikon, I just like the look. The look. And
wow, let me go ahead and flash some of your work here real quick.
Oh god, let's see what's he gonna pull up.
I'm gonna pull up your Instagram real quick. Let's see here. We're going this. We're doing share screen.
Yeah, you go to my Facebook live page and you'll go down the rabbit hole. I don't know how many albums I have on that thing over the years.
I like your Instagram.
Yeah.
Wow, man, this is epic. You guys see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Look at this, man. This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was like a week ago.
Wow.
Dang.
That was a funny shot because I didn't know what was really happening, and I had my wide angle on, and I saw him grab the mic stand with 2 hands, and I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna jump." And I went to the middle, and just as I was shooting, I tripped over the barrier barrier bars that where you sit, and so I got the shot, and then I kept going.
Sepultura. Is this the Brazilian death metal band? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Sepultura,
cool.
man, amazing.
Man, that's awesome.
I like that second photo. This is the one that I really liked.
This one still, and that was with my fisheye. That one still amazes me, where I'm like,
The energy is crazy.
how possibly can Ty jump like that? With, I would bust a hip if I was to jump like that with my feet straight out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was one of my favorite classics for sure.
This is really nice, man. This inspires me. Look at the framing here.
You're right. The
Perfect.
frame. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you pretty much, I mean, this is where you want to be, man. You're like right dead front, right? In center.
That was a hard shoot too with Slipknot because the stage is so high.
Slipknot.
And they have that's a step up. They have monitors. It's sometimes it's hard. So if for concert photographers, the new guys, if you ever run into that, always try shooting at the farthest back of the pit you can go to get your angle. Because the closer you get to the stage, obviously it's going to be harder to shoot.
And get the back of the stage at the same time.
Yeah.
Look at this shot. Damn.
Yeah, that was with that 20 millimeter 1.8.
Yeah, that's a beautiful lens.
Wow.
Awesome.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man, this is awesome. Wow, I know this band right here. Very cool.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean,
yeah, that's a club, man. That was at El Corazon. It's like once, not good lighting.
Yeah, compared to the others, you see a difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's going on here?
Yeah.
I got a Prism FX piece of glass on. And it gives you this weird vibe where the light dictates what's going to happen.
Wow.
So if you get certain angles, then certain things happen, and that's what happened on that one for Dara.
Duran.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like I love those photos, but it's sad because my wife, her favorite 2 bands, the Duran Duran and The Cure, and they were both playing here in Seattle last week, like back to back.
Wow.
And she was gonna shoot them, but then our grandson was born the day before, so she had to leave town. And I
grandson.
And I had to step in step in her place.
Man, this is awesome.
That's trippy. You definitely don't look like you have a grandson. I did.
Right?
Crazy grandpa, like what?
Hey, so I have a question here. Like, for example, this show right here, right? Duran Duran, one of the biggest acts in the world. This is in Seattle. How do you get access to this? They call you, or like you have?
No, this is like that one. I mean, that one's for radio.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff happens with the access through radio. For me,
Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Wow. So access to your local radio station?
Yes.
So you were on this tour too. You were shooting this. That's cool.
Poison. Yeah, that was the Motley. That was when they came through.
CC DeVille.
Yep.
Man, this is awesome, dude. Like seriously, like that's why.
Yeah, there we go. There's Ace Frehley there. That was from 96 or something.
Is this film?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I used I still have it, my Minolta 8000i. And the crazy thing, that was my first film camera that I actually bought with my own money. And when I was 16 or something like that, I didn't have, you don't have that kind of money to buy something like that.
Billy Sheehan, man.
Yeah, and I ended up selling a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Julius Erving triple card.
Wow.
They're a rookie
Trade
card. And I sold them, and I turned around, bought that camera.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, man.
Mm.
Bob Halford.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, Tony Iommi.
Yeah. Black Sabbath, man.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I had a huge picture, a 2-page picture in their last DVD.
Oh,
nice.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. There we go. How many years apart is that? 97. You know, look at that, man. Same guitar.
Same guitar, yeah. Paul Stanley. Man, this is awesome, Mike. Seriously, I mean, you've done a lot. I mean, you've really done a lot in the industry.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, man. Bowie.
7 years ago, David.
You shot that?
Yeah, that was that was long. That was in the 90s.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold
that
on.
right there,
Hold
man.
on.
That's one of my top 10s right there.
Dang.
The lip, everything.
Idol.
White weighted. You know,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh wow. Queen.
Yep. Brian
Man,
May.
like, dude, I'm telling you, man. This is. Oh wow. Wow. Duff McKagan.
Yeah, he lives up here. He's not far from me.
Oh, wow, man.
Yeah.
This is like awesome. Like, good job, man. Good job. You got a good career.
Oh, there we go. We got some there's a film negative there. What is that one? Dimebag.
Oh man, rest in peace. This guy got shot at a club. Somebody killed him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
horrible.
Dimebag Daryl.
Yeah.
Pantera.
Yeah.
Some weirdo just went up and shot him.
Out of nowhere, just like
yeah. That's
wow.
what changed everything for the industry and security and everything else.
Look at this shot. I love just everything about this shot. Just look at her hair.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy, man. Man, like I said, Mike, you've definitely done a lot for the industry, and so, and congratulations, by the way. I mean, this is a storybook career. You're just getting started, right? You're not over yet.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, right? Now with the Z9, I mean, it's not the tool, but I mean, it's the photographer. But
yeah,
what happens with all this stuff you have, right? Like, what happens when they want to like use it for something? Like, do you negotiate a deal where you get paid too?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's like especially with some of the older stuff. I'm starting to like here. I got all these negatives that I found. Like, I have a box full of all this film prints and negatives. So I started kind of organizing stuff now, and I'm gonna go through everything and start scanning it and putting it out there and stuff. And yeah, there's stuff to hear that I'm just like, oh my God, what do I have?
Yeah,
it's like
what's something that you want to share if someone wants to get into this and really make it a 40-year career like yourself? What is something that you wish someone told you when you were at that point?
Well, never, I mean, if it's your dream, go for it. Go for it. Don't let don't tell anybody any different. But I'm going to say one thing though. The industry today is completely different than it was back in the day. There's so many photographers out there now, and a lot of great ones. I mean, a lot of great ones. But it's just the industry itself is just not set up anymore for for band success. Like back in the day, the labels would help bands get out there and stuff. Nowadays it's just they're putting product out, and there's no promotional money behind it. So with that issue, it comes down to even bands even having tour photographers or can't afford to have photographers out there. It's not the I would, if you were to seriously sit there and ask me if something you should go into, I would probably say no.
Wow.
Unless you have some kind of backup, you know. I mean, with
Yeah.
me, like, yeah, exactly. Even with me, it's like me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's like her day job helps everything, you know, because on tour,
The
a lot of
dips.
people, yeah, a lot of people think it's like, oh yeah, you're a tour photographer. Okay, great, blah blah blah. Well, you're on tour for this many months, and then guess what? That's done.
Then you're not.
Then you're not. So it's like all these guys that work, you know, the crews and everything for our bands. That's why they're always jumping from tour to tour, finding work, you know, and that alone is, you know, stressful.
That's
So,
a grind, man.
yeah, it's a total grind. It's just a life that I'm just like, ugh, you know, yeah.
So, so in the beginning, if you love this stuff, expect to do a lot of free stuff, right? Like free, like
Yeah. I mean, it's you have to, you
So-
have to just to get content, you know, do it, get your content, and then start working.
And build your contacts.
Yeah, build your contacts and work local. I mean, work local with local bands, you know, local bands, local promoters, everything else, you know, and just go from there. And then, you know, your work will be seen with the internet.
Hey, EFSU, yeah, he uses earplugs for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, such a fascinating job, man. And the contacts, like I'm even fascinated with the contacts that you make and the relationships that you build on the road, and people, they appreciate that. You know, they'll call you for other things, and it's
exactly. And that's the thing that separates me from the many others, is that building a relationship. If you build a relationship with an artist over time, it's going to come around.
It's residual, huh? Yeah. I think that's the part of it, is like, okay, I want to capture this fun event. I want to be part of the energy, but also I got to think about 5 shows ahead, right? I got to make sure I conduct myself in a particular way where I can get to the 5 shows ahead, you know, from this one I'm at, and then who's going to help me get there. And so I actually have a degree in music business from Full Sail University, and from what they taught me when I got my degree back in 2011, to where the industry landscape, you know, you're totally right. It's like it's a whole nother. It's almost it's just not for artists. It's just not. And so I actually applaud you for having to be 40 years in the game. You look great, so thankfully it's kept. You know, you're still healthy and everything, and to have weathered that storm, that says a lot about you.
Yeah, and it's a funny thing you say about the health part and all that stuff, is like being in Seattle and going through the whole, seeing everybody in the grunge and all that stuff and what that did. And, you know, I got to see all that stuff. And that was something I never wanted to dabble in. Yeah. The whole drugs and everything. It's like, nope. So,
speaking of that, did you ever shoot Kurt Cobain?
No, I hated, I personally, I didn't like grunge. I was a metal dude. I was, you know, we're here in Seattle, man. I was like Metal Church and all that stuff, and the grunge stuff. I was friends with them all, but it was just like, I just didn't get it.
You lived through that whole incident.
Yeah, lived through it.
That's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
It's funny, awesome. That comment there I see on the screen from Fel. In that case, I should keep my day job. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you photograph a band that they're nobodies, right? And all of a sudden they become the next best Metallica or whatever, right?
Okay.
And you befriend them, you're friends with them, you become their official photographer through their career. Can you make a living just off that gig?
Depending how big they get.
Okay, let's say Iron Maiden.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean that's the, you know, that's the dream. I mean, my buddy John shoots for him, and he's you know, but even with, you know, even with these bands, it's like, yeah, it's, you're out there on tour, you're doing it, but then when the tour is over, if you're not on a, you know, contract or something, then you're looking for work.
If you're not on the salary or on the clock or
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's interesting, man. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And everybody goes home.
Yeah, it's a tough deal.
That's similar to like producers, right? Like when they notice a band, they're hoping they make it big so they become rich and famous.
Yeah.
Like a Rick Rubin and all those guys back in the day.
It's even for me or other music photographers. You know, we're always looking for who's the next, you know, who's the next big thing, you know, to shoot them early in their career.
And that's why you said show up and shoot the opening acts.
Exactly.
You don't know. Give them 5 photos. They don't.
That band, who knows? You know, that band in 10 years might become the biggest thing ever. And next thing you know is you got photos of them in the beginning, and they're gonna, you know, put a book out or something, or you know, some documentary or something. They're gonna be looking for that stuff. So,
yep,
good point. Yeah.
What's up?
And also too with your point, it's freaking digital, man. It doesn't cost you jack to take pictures. It, you know,
photos.
You're putting it on a hard drive, categorize it. It's there. It's, you know,
Charles Miller says, "Do you know David Bergman?"
David Bergman, of course. Yes, he's amazing.
Wow. So man, you got a lot of, like I said, man, you got a lot of friends up there in this circle, you know.
Yeah.
And I love to
again, like I said, it's not that big of a circle.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd love to hang out with all you guys one day, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Just
what part of California are you in?
SoCal, LA, man.
Oh, LA,
Hollywood.
okay. All right. Yeah.
You ever come down here to shoot shows?
Yeah, I'll let you know next time I'm down shooting a show or something. Then.
Hey, you do that, bro? Hey, let's check it out, bro. Check it out.
I'll have you carry my bag for me.
No. Check it out, bro. I'll do a behind the scenes video for my channel.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Shooting you know, concert photography with Maestro Iron Mike Savoia. You know what I mean?
That'd be fun. Yeah, in LA, man, there's a lot of great photographers down there.
Just give me a heads up, bro. Give me a date where you're gonna be, like at the forum or whatever. You're shooting this guy or that guy or whatever it is. And I'll get my video camera and I'll go behind the scenes with you, man.
All right.
That'll be awesome. Definitely looking forward to that and meeting you and having, you know, grabbing a beer and
yeah, for sure.
That'll be awesome, bro. Like I met you through my channel, right?
Yep.
That's how we met. And
I saw your videos and I was like, oh, these are interesting, man. It's like,
hey, let me just say one thing, bro, because a lot of people are like, why are you rock and roll photographer, right? I'm not rock and roll because I shoot rock and roll. I'm rock and roll because I used to be in a band and I love rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's why I say rock and roll. Like not because I shoot rock and roll. You are the rock and roll photographer.
But no, man, you know, it's like everything else, man. You gotta have your stick. Yeah. It's like you got your, you know, you have your thing, man. You hear your intro to your video, your rock and roll, you know it's you.
Thanks, bro.
You see me in this freaking blue beard, you know it's me.
No, I thought about that. I was like, all right, that's clever. There you go. You know,
if
there's a room full of photographers in a pit, like you already know who you are.
Yeah, I'm not hard to find.
That's right.
Somebody's looking for me. It's like bald-headed blue beard, and they're like, okay.
Bald-headed blue beard.
Yeah. Like, okay.
So who's your one of your top guys that you look up to as far as the concert scene, like photography wise, like legends in your circle? Like who do you say, okay, this guy, I would love to meet him one day, or I've met him?
Well, one guy is Robert Knight, and I've become friends with him and stuff, but just his whole story is amazing. And he has some incredible, you know, stories and stuff. And I think he has he had the movie on Netflix on his whole deal, you know, shooting Hendrix and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have a documentary about him?
Yeah. I forget what it was called, but you know, just look up Robert Knight. You'll find it. Great guy. Love that guy. You know, then you got some of the old guys, you know, like Jim Marshall. I always loved his stuff and his attitude. He was just, you know, not a jerk. Well, I mean, kind of a jerk, but you know, he was just said it as it is. You know?
What about the Doors guy, Morrison Hotel? I forget his name. He shut the doors and the Morrison Hotel album cover. He did that. He does seminars about it and stuff. I forget his name, guys, in the chat if you guys know. He's known as the Morrison Hotel photographer. So yeah, man, this is one thing that you've seen. You don't need to mention the artist, but one thing that you've seen that totally blew your mind that what they were doing, somebody well known. It's like, shit, they actually do this? Like,
what do you mean, like photographer or
no,
an artist,
musician? Yeah, like you know the stuff backstage what people do, like just maybe their tendencies or their attitude problem, or you know what I mean. Like, okay, how about this? Let me rephrase. Have you ever gotten like just a big time attitude, like big time artist comes and says, "Get out of my room," like, "Don't, what are you shooting this for right now?"
No.
Okay.
And if I was around an artist that I kind of knew was kind of like that, I wouldn't put myself in the situation.
Okay.
Have you ever seen, how they have writers, right?
Oh yeah.
So what was the most like outrageous writer you ever seen? Like they want only orange Skittles? What the hell is going, like what was there something funny that you noticed before?
No, because I don't really see the writers.
Oh, like, like in their room and they're like, I must have only green Skittles.
Oh yeah. No. Those are just the ancient stories that,
Okay.
I think it was Van Halen or something like that, or they put it where no brown M&Ms or something like that. And then if they came to the gig and saw there was brown M&Ms in it, then they know they'd never read the writer. So then that's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I saw some when I was in school, they'd show us writers because we're, in the contract classes or whatever. And I've seen some from like Jay-Z and stuff. Like, I must have a Bentley to rent and all this stuff. I'm like, what the hell for a college show? Holy cow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I was just curious.
High maintenance.
Yeah. Have you ever bumped into any bands that are like high maintenance, or how are they? Are they pretty chill for the most part?
They're all pretty chill.
Okay. That's cool.
Pretty chill.
I guess the media, hypes them up a little bit, and right?
Yeah. Except for some of these pop artists,
But except for Kiss, I mean, if I hung out with the guys from Kiss, especially Stanley and Dean, they're big time. They're like, right? They're
oh yeah. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah, they'll let you have it. Saying, "Hey."
Oh yeah.
There's one guy was wearing an Iron Maiden shirt when he was interviewing him. Did you see that? He's like, Gene's like, "Why are you wearing that shirt?"
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
He's like, I don't know. I like Iron Maiden. He goes, "Well, take it off. You're interviewing us now."
Really? Wow, I never saw that.
On YouTube.
That's hilarious.
I think he was just joking, but
yeah.
Did he make him take it off?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn.
But he made him feel uncomfortable, so
yeah.
But that's awesome, man. What can I say? Man, like I said, man, I'd love to hang out with you, Mike, one day. Just shoot the the shit. And if I'm ever in Seattle, which I love that area, I will come hang out, man. I'd love
cool.
to hang out and stuff. I'm gonna post a link, but if anybody wants to join us for the last 15 minutes and just come on in.
Yeah, got any questions, man, or whatever?
Let me go ahead and let me post the link real quick.
I love the energy you captured, at least in the photos I saw on your Instagram. That was really, really like I felt the story. I felt there in a lot of your photos. It was really cool.
Yeah,
it's the it's the passion for the music. If you know your music and everything else, you put yourself in their shoes on stage, then you're them. You'll capture stuff.
do you ever say like, "Oh, I know they're like, boom, that," you
Yep.
know, from their perspective?
All the time, man. Put, like I said, I put my, get in their shoes, know the music.
That's right.
What man, I learned so much from you guys, like you and Jack Lou and Don and Marco. That I was just like, like I said, I've been a photographer for 3 decades, but when I started doing this and I saw what it takes to kind of shoot these kind of shows, you ain't shit. Who cares? No one cares. No one cares what kind of camera you have. No one cares what kind of lens you have. No one cares who you've shot. You got to be cool. If you're not cool and you're pushy photographer,
Yeah,
get out. And I guess it doesn't take a lot for you to be blacklisted, right? From a lot of shit.
Whoops.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Nope.
But yeah, that's crazy. What band or what person really like made you say like that your photographs say, wow, this is cool. Like this I will always remember this moment that I shot this person.
Let's see here. There's one shot, Duff McKagan. It was a moment, I think it was like 2011, where his band was opening for Guns N' Roses in the Key Arena. And I had my 2011, so I probably had a D700 or something. And I had my fisheye on, and he leaped into the crowd, and sold out. And at the time it was the Key Arena, and he went crowd surfing. And so I was like, screw this, man, I'm going with him. So I grabbed that camera and jumped on top, and I went out there and I took this shot that was insane because he had his guitar on still on his back, and he's hands in the air like this, and everybody's like, ah, right. So I get this shot, and it was one of my top 10.
Where is it?
And
can I see it?
Yeah.
Is it posted anywhere?
Yeah, I got it posted probably on Facebook somewhere. But anyways, that ended up that shot ended up as the last 10 minutes of his movie he had. And I was like near in tears when I saw that, man. It was
that's awesome.
Beautiful on the on the big screen up there. And
so when that happens, what happens? They credit you, and
what he ended up doing was this is kind of funny. He didn't nobody really told me. He just like, I just need that photo. And they left the credit, because then my name with the credit was still on the photo. So while he was playing on stage, it was on the big screen filming, and there was my name. It was amazing.
That's
Did
cool,
you get anything from that? Like, hey, we saw you shot that. Come shoot us.
Not that I know of, but just I got a lot of messages from people and stuff that's seen it in the movie, and
that's cool.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
Super cool for a guy like that to do something like that.
Yeah, Nick says, yeah, I've thought about doing this. Yeah, man, do it. Like,
yeah,
go out and do it. That's it. You love it.
Just, you got to start. You got to start somewhere.
I started portrait photography because the first thing I started shooting was my buddy's Brazilian band, and that was my first paid gig. It was $99 or $100 to go shoot his gigs.
Yep.
And I went to portraits, but it was at like local cafes and whatnot. I liked the music, so I was like, screw it, I gotta practice photography. And so no, I think I love all your advice. It's good to see like such humble advice, like ways to get in, but 40 years here you are, you've made something out of it. And and your work speaks for itself clearly.
Yeah. And you love metal. So I love metal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a metal guy.
I mean, I love all music, but that's that's my heart right there, man. The 80s, growing up with all those up and coming metal bands that are still around nowadays.
Charles Miller, he has 2 cameras set up at a concert. Are they both
I'll
Z9?
have I'll have 3 too, depending on the show and everything else. I'll have the fisheye on my D750
Oh,
because that one's automatic focus on that body.
uh,
So if I'm at a show that I know I'm going to be switching all the time, I'll keep that lens on the 750 so I can just pull it out and shoot what I need and then back in the bag.
I know you shoot raw, but
Mhm.
where do you keep your picture profile set at? SD or what? Like your picture profile in your camera, like standard or
portrait.
flat, or I guess it makes a difference when previewing the file in Lightroom, right? Something like that.
No, you're talking about a setting on the camera?
Yeah.
Picture profile?
Yeah, you know what?
I'm like
SD, or what is it? What is it set at?
Press info. Okay, what is that? Well, if you press the I,
yeah, press the eye.
What does
info,
it say?
and then you can see when it'll say like STD or PT for portrait or landscape. That's what he's talking about.
Interesting. I don't
On
even.
the upper left part of the menu, if my memory serves me
He
correct.
probably changed it. He probably pressed
I know what you're talking about. I just have it on auto.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it on auto.
Because you shoot raw, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does not matter.
Unless you, yeah.
Unless you want a specific, like if you want a specific, like in that what you're talking about, you can change all those things. If there's a certain vibe you want, then
you're like me, man. You're like me. Like if somebody says something about some technicality of the camera, like, dude, I just know how to shoot. Give me the camera.
So
Give
you
me
click
that
the button once and then go over twice. No.
Yeah,
because
I'm
all
like,
this technicality stuff is not important. Like for you to orchestrate a room or capture moments is the hardest thing to do, and it takes time, practice, and talent. Like there's a lot of guys that know their camera inside and out. They know how many gigabytes or megapixel or gigapixel or
gigamite. That's a new one. Gigamite.
Gigamite. Yeah, they know all that stuff, but they can't shoot for a lick.
Exactly. I mean, like like I said, it's a tool that's in your hand. If you don't know, if you know the basics of how to use it, it all comes down to having the eye.
And you know what? If you can't,
don't have the eye, doesn't
like
matter.
I said, that's the one thing that they should concentrate on is bettering their photography. That forget about all the technical
100%.
stuff. You can shoot with pretty much a 12-year-old D4. Like, who cares?
Oh my god!
Like it's about the art. It's about capturing the moment, and it's about photography composition and all that stuff. And if you know that stuff, I mean, it's not rocket science.
No,
So,
not rocket at all. But
here's a question for you, real quick. What revenue options do you have? Concert photography. I guess what revenue options? I guess you shoot for,
Yeah, I mean, your revenue options basically for concert photography is either you're a tour photographer, you're getting hired to shoot a specific show, you're shooting photos for our product, companies, once in a while magazines. That pay over the years has just gone to nothing now because so many people offer it for free. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I can remember, you get $1,000 to $1,500 for a shot for an ad or something, and nowadays you can barely get $150.
What?
Yeah, because it's just the whole industry's changed.
Wow.
Yeah, how it was there for a while where people are just doing everything for free, and bands catch on and it'd be like, yeah, why do I got to pay him?
Yeah, that sucks. That's why.
And that's in any industry.
Yeah. It's like that with fashion editorial too. Now there's so many magazines out there and so many people with a camera, and now it's kind of like to what you said earlier. I use it for marketing. Okay, I'll get published. It looks, has everything laid out. It's good for marketing, but pay? Oh hell no.
Nope.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, like for example, weddings. it's a good business to be in if you just want to make money. If you're any good at weddings and you don't mind the hours and bitchy brides,
Stress. Yep. And the
yeah,
stress.
then
Ugh.
they're fine. But if you want to, I mean, some people, they really love wedding photography. But I
Yeah.
think I'd really love to shoot concerts, and I would love to shoot portraits with like artists,
Mm.
musicians, movie stars, just actors,
Yeah.
actresses. That'd be great. Fashion like Robert does.
Yeah.
So I guess that's crazy, man.
It's a grind. I mean, all this is a grind, and
Yeah.
but I do notice something that I've mentioned before, is that, you know, clearly you're a professional at this, right? Because you can look at your body of work and yeah, you've dabbled in other genres, but this
Mm.
is what you're about, right? When I'm scrolling
Mhm.
through your Instagram, this is what you're about. And
Yeah.
then the quality of your work reflects that. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
And the best wedding photographer, like I mean, I shoot weddings. I have no problem with them. I'm not against them, and I enjoy them. And it is a good payday. But the best wedding photographers, I will have to humbly admit, that's what they do, and
Exactly.
that's why your work is the way it is. This is when I need to hold the camera, whether I trip over that, what is it, the gate or whatever you got, but you got
Yeah.
that shot,
Yeah.
and you just know. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for those who are thinking about it, you're either in or you're not. Like the work shows. Does that
Hey,
make sense?
Yeah.
yeah, that makes total sense. Hey, I have a question for you. Since you're a heavy metal fan too, are you like doing this when you're shooting, or are you banging your head too, or?
I, I, yeah, I try not to, but
Mhm.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll send you a link later. There is a video when I shot Kiss in I don't even remember what year. It was about a decade or so ago. And it was in the Key Arena, which was the first time Kiss played in that arena since I saw them the very first time in 1979.
Mm.
So I was that little kid that was up in the stands, right? All these decades later, here I am in the pit in front,
Wow.
right? So in my mind, I'm just going, this is a trip. Life is a trip, right?
Yeah.
So they came out and they started, they played Deuce,
Mm.
and that song just rocks, right? Well, somebody was filming the thing, and there I am, I'm shooting, right? And all of a sudden, the one part, I just put the camera down and I start like, I'm totally into the song. And all of a sudden, I catch myself, and all of a sudden, I'm like, like this, right? And then somebody filmed it.
That's
So that's on
awesome.
YouTube. It's hilarious. So every
That's
once in a while, like just watching it, just going, all right. It's
that's
good
same
to be
thing
a
with
little
me.
fan every once in a while.
Same thing
Yeah.
with me when I'm shooting that kind of stuff. I catch myself air drumming while shooting, or tapping my foot. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as you're
tapping.
not air drum with the camera in your hand or a lens and phew.
Whipping it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
One advice
But,
you want to give the beginner.
the one thing I'll say too is like, people that want to get into concert photography and stuff, and like you say, you have your kind of your genre, what you really like. Gotta have the passion. Gotta love the music. Gotta love the bands. You gotta do your studying. I mean, like today, in today's scene, I mean, photographers, you got YouTube, so you could go and look to kind of see bands before they come to your town and kind of get an idea of what's happening
Yeah.
for those. If you're either doing 3 songs or you're doing a full set, then you get a kind of ideas that kind of help you capture, bigger moments.
Mm.
Yeah, the
No.
best time, the time your shots and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Oh,
exactly.
light's about to go down. I better get ready. Here it comes.
Exactly. And back in the day, we didn't have any of that.
Yeah. So you're saying that's the plus side of
Yeah,
social
the
media.
plus side of social media, exactly, and just online stuff, and
You ever use it to reach out to their managers, like a band's, like, oh, here, yo, you mind if I show up? Blah blah blah.
completely. I mean, it's the tools there.
That's awesome.
Everybody, pretty much accessible. There's some bands that a lot of it goes through their PR,
Oh, okay.
and that's kind of the wall. But most of the time, it's not.
That's cool. That's
I,
cool.
I
Especially
tried
if
to
you go ahead.
I tried to get into Petrucci and Portnoy's show. They
Mhm.
just did one, um, like 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And I asked the promoter, I go, PR, I go, hey man, I'm a photographer, I have a channel, let me
Mhm.
shoot this. And so it got heated, He's like, well, we have no room anymore. And I'm like,
Oh
really? Are you just saying that? Or you're just, kind of like, you
yeah.
know,
He's probably telling you the truth, and the reason why is
all
because
right.
you're in LA, man. And
Okay.
when I go down there and shoot, I mean, it's like my buddy Steve Rose that shoots down there. It's like I'm like, how in the heck do you even get anything when there's 20, 25,
What?
yeah, photographers in the pit?
Wow.
There's so many photographers at times down there. They have two sections. Like the first section goes in for one song, the next section goes for another song.
Oh
It's
my
like, how do
wow.
you get, yeah, how do you get anything done when you have that many people? So that's why I like being in Seattle.
Yeah, right.
We don't have 50 million photographers where
What about the Bay Area, like Shoreline and stuff like that?
um the- LA,
Bottle Rock or
yeah,
anything?
it's fine. It's LA, man. There's just
Oh, LA.
so many photographers.
The
Oh,
LA, the posers, just like Lars would say.
Uh-oh.
You
Yeah.
ever met Metallica?
yeah.
You have?
Oh, what have I shot Metallica?
Have you met them? Like,
Oh
talk
yeah,
to them?
oh yeah.
Wow, those are one. That's one of my like. Those are
One of my regrets ever was in 1983 they were supposed to play this skating rink up here for the first time.
that's
And
when they just started. Yeah,
yeah, just started,
yeah,
and I had the show and everything, and they got stuck at the border or something like that, and they couldn't play the show.
yeah.
I was just thinking, oh man, if I would have had pictures of that that show,
Early gig.
yeah, the early gig, but
Wow, wow.
yeah,
They live in Robbery, where you're
Yep.
neck of the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they love I'm telling you, they can't whenever they can, like, Bay Area, Metallica, all the time, and they're doing so much they do a lot of good stuff, I'll be quite honest,
yeah.
like, they're very impressive, and they're very, active
hmm
in the
Definitely the
Bay
biggest band ever, and definitely one of the best band names I ever produced. I mean, Metallica doesn't get
yeah,
better than that name.
yeah,
Definitely rock and roll.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I remember the first time a buddy of mine brought album over, and he put it on my dad's stereo. And back for the younger generation, when you have a vinyl, you have three different speeds. You got 16, 33, and 78. Well, my buddy puts on Metallica, and the first song's Hit the Lights, right? And I'm like, I started laughing at him. I said, hey, George, I said, you got it on 78, dude. It's like, no, I don't. I have it on 33. No, that's on 78, man. That thing's way too fast. Like, you never heard anything like that before.
That's
So
Yeah, it
funny.
was fast. I mean, that's one time I was
Slow it
driving.
down.
slow it
Yeah,
down, man.
one time I was driving in Beverly Hills and coming back from a gig, a wedding, and I'm stopped at the light. I think it was sunsetting in Doheny, somewhere there. And Benz drives by and stops at the next lane next to me. The guy rolls the window down, and I see all of a sudden it's Kirk Hammett. And I'm looking to the left. I go, no effing way, dude. He's asking me for directions. He's not from the area.
What?
He's asking me where some street is, Robertson and whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm like speechless, bro. I'm like shocked. Like, Kirk. And he goes, bro, I'm like, I'm a big fan. Like, I'm sorry, but I know we're stuck here on a light, but
In the traffic.
and he's like, no way, that's cool. And he throws me like 3 or 4 picks, guitar
Oh, that's
picks. Said
cool.
Oh,
Metallica
did
in
he
my
did?
car. Yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, just go straight down, make a left on so and so La Cienega or whatever.
Hmm.
It's like,
That's
That's
funny.
cool.
dude, I went home smiling. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I called up all my rocker buddies. I'm like, dude, guess what I just bumped into on the road? Kirk Hammett. I'm like, no way. Did you get his number? I'm like, what do you mean? Did I get his number?
What?
On a date.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna jam with them or something. I'm like, dude, they're
Yeah.
not gonna do that. The guy doesn't even know you. But I wish what I would have done is throw him a business card, but he'd probably throw that away. Use it as a toothpick or something. That's why I started. That's why I stopped passing out business cards at work, is because I saw this one guy eating and he started using my business card as a toothpick.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not passing out business cards anymore.
That kills the morale. Yeah, I've once in a while, at the dance, the reception of a wedding, and I'll see it on the floor. I'm like, son of a bit.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No more business. Yeah. Business cards are out. I got the. You got the? I got that dot card.
Oh,
Yeah. That this thing.
Is that the one with the QR code? Yeah, there you go.
But it has the little the little chip in it.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you're in the pit and people are asking, "Hey, what's your website? Where can I see these photos?" I always pull this thing out, and all you gotta do is tap the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, you tap the phone.
You tap the phone, and it puts in your information pops up on their phone, and then they can save it.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah. So no more business cards. Use your dot.
That's awesome.
Especially at shows. It's just easy.
And it's fast, huh?
It's
just
fast because on their phone, like you said, you give them a business card or something, it goes in the pocket and it gets washed or something, just tossed.
Totally.
In this way, it pulls up your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever your website is, and they like it, whatever, and then boom, you're right.
Yeah. Hey, but one last question before we wrap it up. Is your gear insured? Like, do you insure your gear?
That's a good one.
State Farm.
Okay.
Really? State Farm?
Yeah, you can insure your stuff.
Yeah, they have business plans.
I gotta talk to Jared from State Farm. That damn commercial. I gotta talk to that brother.
I forget what it's called, but they have these plans where they insure your gear.
Yeah,
it's cool. It doesn't cost that much either.
No,
I use PPA. They do up to, I want to say $15,000, something like that. But I definitely want to check out State Farm's rates.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, I met Lemmy so many times at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood. Legendary place. He used to hang out there every day playing our video game, man.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I shot Motorhead, met Motorhead. Yeah. I had some pretty cool stories.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite bands.
Motorhead, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, I could go down to the local bar and grill. He's always there. He was always there. He died, but he passed away. Yeah. But they have a statue of him. But he's pretty cool guy.
Yeah,
pretty approachable.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like I've met some real weirdos, like not weirdos, but like legends. But like they turned me off. Like all of a sudden, like I met Slash one day at a wedding. At a wedding, yeah. Cool. And he was friends with the groom. So the groom. It's on YouTube. This video's on YouTube. He actually goes on stage to an Armenian wedding. I'm Armenian. He goes on stage to play a song for the bride and groom.
Right.
He plays the Mafia song on guitar, right? And I was talking to him outside after that, and he like gave me an attitude, like, "Who are you? Get out of here," kind of like. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I kind of, that's why I don't want to meet my heroes sometimes,
Yeah. So, I've heard about that.
People were on YouTube, this videos on YouTube. If you search /wedding music, wedding playing at a wedding, whatever, it'll come up, and you probably even see me in like passing by in my tradition, they throw dollar bills on performers.
Oh yeah.
So you see the dollar bills flying all over his hair and stuff. And one guy's like commenting, Slash is playing weddings now. It's that bad.
Did he have that hat?
No. He was. I actually took a picture of him because I was the photographer there. So I took a picture of Slash. This was a long time ago, but yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I met a couple of people, but like. He was approachable, and Scorpions. I met the Scorpions, very approachable people. I actually was friends with the bass player. I actually helped him move, which was kind of cool, So anyway, guys, this was fun. Iron Mike, Savoia, Mike. Happy to call you. Yeah, happy to call you my friend, man. My rock and roll photographer brother from another mother. Anytime you're in LA, man.
Oh yeah,
let me know.
We'll hook up.
We'll go to the Rainbow, and
Yeah.
the Rainbow is a rock and roll place, guys. Okay, rock and roll.
You gotta make sure you clarify.
Yes.
It's the metal church of rock and of heavy metal. I mean,
Oh, that's cool.
it's a great place to eat. You all see celebrities there. Who's this guy always there? The guy from HBO, politically incorrect, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
I always see him there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people hang
Nerded
out
out.
there. So. But anyway, Mike, if you're ever here, let me know. This was fun, man.
Yeah,
Guys,
man. Thanks for having me on. And like I said too, man. Anybody, man, you have a question, concert, photography, whatever. Find me online. Send me a message.
Yeah. All the links are in the description. Mike's work on Instagram. Follow him there. He also has a YouTube channel. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, Nick. Thank you for the comment. And guys, if you don't mind, like this video. If you enjoyed it, hit a thumbs up and comment. You know, it's great to hear from you guys. Robert, I want to thank you again.
Of course, not a problem. Here. It's my pleasure.
Check out Robert Silver Photography on YouTube and his website, and the link will be in the description as well.
Yeah,
Mike, again, thank you, man. Keep on shooting, rocking the Z9s, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, I can't wait to go out with this new update and check it out.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, so I'm gonna do that update and check it out too.
Auto capture, that's so cool.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
All right,
guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat as well. Thanks a lot. Rock and roll. See you next week, and keep on rocking. All right, stay safe. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. We'll see you soon with the rock and roll photographer there. All right, guys. See ya.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.